We live our lives being told to fear stress, but as I've said before, stress is fabulously good for us as long as we know how to flip in and out of it. And I'm always trying to find easy ways to teach you how you can assess your body's feedback as to how well you're doing that on a daily basis without you needing a degree and a few thousand clinical hours. So I'm going to tell you a story of what just happened to me in the gym and then explain how you can use this as a way to do exactly that. So I was happily mid-workout, changing over a grip on the cable machine between sets, and one of my gym buddies said to me, "Seriously, I'm so impressed whenever I see you work out. You train better than at least 50% of the guys in here." Now, my response was to simply take that as a compliment. I heard the tone of his voice, I saw his facial expression, body language, and all of those factors combined together rationally to produce an entirely positive response in my mind. We actually high-fived, and he went back to chest pressing more than my body weight, and I didn't do that. The key here is the balance between emotionality and rationality, as that ratio within your reactions is a powerful indicator of how regulated or stressed your nervous system is at that point in time and overall. When you're in a stable, regulated state, you will respond to situations with rationality. You can pause, reflect, take in all the data of the situation, and make thoughtful decisions. Emotions are still present, but they're proportional and integrated with logic. When your nervous system is more stimulated and you're in a more stressed state, your reactions skew more towards emotionality. You become reactive, impulsive, overwhelmed, or defensive, and logic can take a back seat. And this is because your amygdala takes over and you'll skip the finer details of a situation because you're now operating from a survival mode, and slowing down to go through logical checkpoints is not a benefit to staying alive. If I'd been in a more heightened state, I could have missed the tone those words were said with. His approaching me generally could have made me defensive. And all of a sudden, I would have had an entirely different response. Now, of course, some of you may hear his words and still have an emotional response, which is entirely fine. But what I'm trying to impress is that often we can create additional conflict and emotional distress in our lives just by not being aware of our resting stress state. And that's then a vicious cycle. And it can also lead to physical symptoms like anxiety, bloating, constipation, overwhelm, and fatigue, which we look to fix, but they aren't the issue. And I can attest to this as I used to be that person. Simple habits can totally rework this, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so do pop them in the comments. And yeah, that's it.